sitting in listening patterns and everything. Now I'm here to give you a master talk or something like that. And I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Okay. So I'm not a trainer nor an L&D person. I did training when I started my career, and then I moved on, did all sorts of things. Now I am some partly HR, partly operations, a little bit of OD, and stuff like that. So in the L&D context, I am one of those guys who's questioning L&D budget requests, probably cutting it at times. So if you have a face to hate, I represent that face. And why do I do that? In the context of what we talk about value creation versus cost. So maybe I'll give you a story. This is completely hypothetical, no relevance to anything real. Definitely not in my company. Okay. So this L&D person comes and says, we need $100,000 because we have to do a new leadership development program. Okay, there's a vendor and all of that stuff, can do firewalk, you know how it is, you know how to pitch it. So then I asked him, so why do we need this? He said, engagement is good. We need leaders to go out and be more engaging. And that's when it gets cut. If you are not telling me an outcome and telling me an activity, it's not going to cut it. Right? So if you think about L&D versus the business outcome, are you speaking process? Are you measuring success with learning hours? Measuring success with happy sheets? Measuring success with curriculum covered? That's not going to get you anywhere. Not anywhere. There was time when it was the only way we did it. But I think times moved. Right? And that's probably frustrating as well. So, but that's the shift. People like me will exist in every organization who will challenge you and who will ask you why. Is it going to reduce my go-to-market? Is it going to reduce my operational inefficiency? And you will say, yeah, we cannot directly correlate that, but it will indirectly help. That's it, lost by that time. Yeah. So if you really have an aspiration of value creation as an entity function, then you will have to talk about business outcomes and not process outcomes or activity outcomes. Activity is not equal to outcomes. All movement is not progress. That's what is important to understand. Right? I have a wish we don't call L&D anymore. Because it doesn't correlate to business outcomes. Why don't we call it performance architects? Because eventually that's what you're doing, right? You are enhancing organization's performance. Then why shy away from calling it that? And also putting our metrics around it. Measure it to that. That, in my view, is the shift that L&D of today is either facing or have to face. From a cost-centric environment, businesses are not going to suddenly get more budgets to spend on L&D. We'll have to find ways of making it relevant for businesses, and to be able to make it relevant for businesses, you will have to start challenging what are you measuring and how is it relevant for the business. If that doesn't happen, agentic AI will take away all your course curriculum very soon. Already agentic AI, ChatGPT can create your course curriculum 70-75%. Right? What used to take a week of deliberation to create content is now a one-day affair. Delivery also, they will come up with some chatbot who will do the delivery widget. Right? Interactive chatbot and all that. So then what will L&D people do? So it's a serious shift that's happening in our world, and most likely will get more and more accelerated with the way we are seeing businesses facing challenges today. So if you're not going to be able to tell your business that I am reducing 15% of your time to proficiency with new hires, you're not getting any money just to do onboarding. Right? That's going to happen. Either it's already happening in your organizations or it will happen soon. Okay? That's the direction of travel. Right? Agentic AI is definitely impacting most of our functions, most of our actions. L&D, you will have to decide where do you use it, how do you use it, and what is your value add on top of it. So, are you bringing in process work? Are you bringing in change culture work? Are you able to become the analyst between the business challenge and the capability that AI can deliver for you? Are you able to go to your operations head and say, in your call center between third and fifth minute, there is call drops happening, and I can deploy an agent for you that will help train your employees better during that time. That's when you're going to become a partner on the table. Till that time, you will be one asking for budgets to do and measure what you will do in the budget. And that's the shift that's important to consider. And I'm not saying what we do today. I have done L&D in my early days of my career. I still do sessions, but not as a trainer. It cannot continue the same way. It has to evolve. What we've done 20 years ago will not work now. And without that change and shift, this is going to potentially die. Okay? I don't think I have so much more time because I came late and they also told me you don't have much time. I'm just checking if I have anything else to share. Yeah. One more piece. Traditionally, we looked at training as bring people in classroom or eventually get modules online, all the LinkedIn learning kind of modules, you can search, do all of that stuff. We provide input, people get that input and people absorb it. And therefore we measure people have been trained. Today people are not waiting for us to give them the content. They will find it themselves, they will find it more interactive, they will find it more interesting. And they will find it at the time they want to find it. So that delivery mechanism is changing. The whole linearity of training is at risk. And if you think about it, organizations are not linear anymore as well. The challenges that organizations are facing today is geopolitical, is financial, is social media challenges, all sorts of things coming through. So in that complex adaptive system of organizations today, maybe our role has to also adapt to move from a very linear kind of a thing to really understanding the system. So if your sales team is not performing to your expectations, is the solution in training your sales team, or is the solution in actually evaluating your incentive structure? And maybe that's the solution that L&D comes up with, that your incentive structure is not working. Don't waste money on training people on sales or negotiation skills or whatever. Change your incentive structure. You will spend less and you will have better outcome. Maybe that's what it is. So really going out of our mounts and thinking about what is it that will change the system. If you start to imagine yourselves as performance architects, maybe you will ask different questions. So my real ask, and only one ask of all of you L&D professionals, and I'm a junior L&D professional given my lack of experience in L&D, is to stop calling ourselves L&D and really think about what can we really change in the business and who are we where we can enable that. That's a real job, that's a real title, that's a real metric. And maybe that will help us answer the right questions as well. Cool. Thank you. I'm around if you want to have any questions, and I'll hand it back. Thank you, everybody.